Welcome, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, How to Make a Great Branding Video in 5 Minutes. My name is Eliana Raggio, and I'll be your moderator today. And today's webinar is being presented by DEALERUN. And for anyone who isn't familiar with DEALERUN, well, we're an award-winning website development company and digital agency, best known for our search engine optimization, best-in-class customer service, and our award-winning websites. DEALERUN was named the top-rated website provider by Driving Sales in 2011, and DEALERUN customers were winners of the Spring 2012 Digital Dealer Website Excellence Awards. DEALERUN is so committed to lead conversion, optimization, and customer service that we're the only company in the industry to offer a lead guarantee program. That's right, leads guaranteed. So if your website company isn't guaranteeing you leads, well then maybe you should check us out at DEALERUN.com. And we have a fabulous show in store for you today. We're very pleased to have Elise Kephart as our presenter today. Elise Kephart is a sales and marketing phenomenon in the automotive business and is nationally recognized as the YouTube Diva. Totally cool name. So since 2007, Elise has sold thousands of vehicles through personable and persuasive sales and marketing videos personalized for every customer, creating a strong bond and trust. Elise has presented at seminars nationwide, including the Spring 2012 Digital Dealer Conference in Orlando, where she has consistently wowed the audience by teaching how to create and edit quick and effective videos and deliver them to customers within minutes. Elise has been teaching how to create, repeatedly praised by the likes of Digital Dealer Magazine, Jim Ziegler, and Grant Cardone for her creative marketing in the automotive industry. She's even traveled across the country with Jim Ziegler training internet departments. Elise is currently a top-performing salesperson at Sunset Honda, and she can be reached at elisekephart@yahoo.com. During the presentation, if you have any questions, please use the question feature located on the corner of your screen to submit them. At the end of the presentation, we'll answer those questions of general interest. If we're unable to get to your question live, don't worry, we're going to respond by email later today. Also, don't forget, a link to download a copy of today's webinar recording is also going to be emailed to you later today for your reference, and please feel free to share it with friends and colleagues. And hey, DEALERUN is going to be at the upcoming Digital Dealer Convention in Las Vegas, baby. So if you're going to be there, we want to see you. So come visit us at booth 1211. The Digital Dealer Conference and Expo is quite simply a great conference. It always is. It's October 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Mirage, and I'm going to be there, and I want to meet you. So check out the speaking sessions also from some members of the DEALERUN executive team. And we are also going to be broadcasting live from the Digital Dealer Convention in Vegas on Thursday, October 25th, with none other than our fearless leader, Ali Amirazvani, President and CEO of DEALERUN. He's going to be schooling us all on advanced SEO for dealers, what still works on Google, something every dealer needs to know. So if you can't make it out to Vegas, well then I hope to see you all on our webinar on October 25th. Also wanted to let you know at the conclusion of today's webinar, you're going to receive a short survey. Please fill it out because we're always looking for great feedback from our audience. And today we're going to randomly select some winners from all the completed surveys to also win some Google prizes. So let's get started. Let's learn how to make a great branding video in 5 minutes. Elise Kephart, how are you today?
I'm doing great this morning. How are you? How is everybody?
Everyone. I'm so happy you made it out here. I want everyone who's listening right now to know, after each one of these webinars that I do every week, you know, in that survey that I just mentioned, one of the things I always ask is, hey, do you have any great ideas for webinar topics? You, my friend Elise, were the only person's name ever, still ever, to have been requested by name. You were requested by name. So I had to come and hunt you down and get you to do a webinar for us because the reviews on you are just amazing. And I cannot wait for this webinar. And I know there's a lot of buzz already about this webinar. Believe me, I've never gotten so much pre-webinar buzz before. And so very, very excited. Why don't you tell everyone today what kinds of things we're going to be learning during today's webinar?
Things that we're going to be learning today, I think most of you guys out there have seen some of the videos that I do. I think a lot of you guys know the power of video. So we're briefly going to touch base on that, but more importantly, we're kind of going to dive in on how to actually make these videos, because that seems to be the most common question, when I'm doing a seminar or when I'm traveling is, well, how do you do it? What's the time length that it takes? And, what's the impact? What's the final impact? So we're going to be touching base on all of that today, but a large portion of this is going to be for, for you to take back to your team and really learn how easy it is to make these videos. And trust me, it will make you more money, and it's very effective. So,
well, I think that's great, and it's no surprise to anyone who's listened to any of my previous webinars that I had a terrible car shopping experience last time I went and bought a car. So I want to see what this branding video is going to do for me, the shopper, next time I go. So go ahead, let's see your awesomeness.
All right, fantastic. Well, everybody, thanks again for joining with us today. Really excited to be doing this webinar. So how to make a great branding video in 5 minutes. Here's, again, what we're going to be going over today. First part is understanding your customers. An internet customer, again, we're going to touch base on that when you're shopping for anything. What we're going to look at more so is the customers that are doing their research online, before they even come to the dealership, and what type of customers those are. And then we're going to dive deep in learning the tools that you're going to need to make these videos. We're going to watch one example of one of my videos, and then I'm going to show you exactly what tools you need. It's very basic. Then we're going to use a video editing program. It's free on all PCs. It's called Windows Live Movie Maker, and I'm going to walk you step by step on how to edit a video together. And then at the end we will have a Q&A, question and answer session. So let's get started. So understanding your customers, if you really take yourself even just outside of the car business for a minute, pretty much anywhere you go, you go to a coffee shop and you look around, and so many people are on their smartphones or on their laptops, and they're online, with technology. It's not just computers anymore, it's tablets. You have your married couple or, people at home just on their tablet, whether it's checking email, or doing any type of shopping online. You have your people at work. If you're at work, you're working, of course, but then I'm sure on the side you have some other tabs open where if you're in the market for a car, you might need to research, research at work as well. And then again, what I want to focus here on is it's not just the younger generation that is using technology now to do their research. Pretty much every generation now is becoming acclimated with the internet and how to use it, and the tools that they can use when they're buying a pretty expensive product. It's not it's not a $2 latte when you're purchasing a vehicle. You can spend anywhere from $10,000 to $10,000 to $50,000, $60,000, depending on what you're going to be purchasing. So what I wanted to open up with was kind of just a funny clip here. And I really like this clip because it just goes to show again that it's not just the younger generation using the internet now, using a laptop, but it's pretty much all across the board. Even an age group that would be considered like my grandparents. So some of you guys might have seen this clip already, but I did want to show it to you. Let me go back here. Oh. All right, so.
It's going to work.
There we are.
Became an internet sensation after accidentally recording themselves trying to take a snapshot with their brand new webcam. Here's a look. Meet the newest viral video superstars.
I don't know what I'm recording. Shucks.
86-year-old Bruce and 79-year-old Esther Huffman.
Maybe just recorded us.
Gee.
The dynamic duo were caught on a brand spanking new webcam.
Take a photo snapshot. Okay. Take a series of photos. Did it capture?
Trying unsuccessfully to take a snapshot.
Well, I want to take a picture.
What they captured instead? Nearly 3 minutes of funny faces.
Technically, you're lucky.
Serenading.
Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby.
Laughing. And even some flirting.
See how pretty your hair is?
Well, Esther tried to remember what her granddaughter had taught her.
I don't know how to do it. I mean, I just learned too many things. She tried to teach me so much.
Bruce waited patiently. Ready for his close-up.
I did it before by accident.
You do more things by accident than most people do on purpose.
So that's
That's cute.
so that's just kind of a video again where you can see that when if you're running the internet department or you're taking an internet lead, you can't assume anymore that that's just a younger generation. It could be someone across someone that's like that is just got their laptop and they're doing all their research online. And so kind of the goal here is how do we capture these customers, and we're going to learn about that today. So what I did, I wanted to kind of touch base on an actual a process, and this process was implemented, or I learned a lot of it from Jerry Tebow. He's with Phone Ninjas. And for a while, for about 5 months, I actually was working with Jerry and learning a lot about inbound phone calls and outbound phone calls. And one of the most powerful things that I've learned, or that I did learn as far as the process on an outbound phone call, is I think typically the normal process, if any of you guys do the internet, is you'll get an internet lead, you'll make one phone call, you'll get their voicemail, you'll say, hey, thanks for calling on the Honda Accord. My name's Elise. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'm going to send you an email here with my contact information, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. And then what they'll do is they'll set that internet lead out for the next day. Well, that's not going to work, and the reason for that is because you're not really giving the customer an important reason to call you back. And so, again, we're going to dive deep on the video message greetings here, but I wanted to kind of implement that with those video messages. What you want to do is combine it with an entire process when handling an internet lead. So when an internet lead comes in, the first thing that you want to do is call the customer from your office line. So most of you guys should have an office line run through the dealership, and then you have your cell phone. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll actually call the customer from my office line, and typically you will get their voicemail. And this is a voicemail that I'll say. It'll be something along the lines of, hi, Mr. Customer, it's Elise over here at Sunset Honda. I wanted to thank you for your internet request for the Honda Accord. I received your information, and I have some really great news for you, as well as I wanted to verify the type of Accord you're interested in. I can be reached directly at, state your number. I'll be in the office until 6 p.m. this evening, and if I don't hear back from you this morning, I'll try you again a little bit later today. Okay, that's the voicemail that I'm going to leave. And the reason why I say it like that is because I am going to call them back. In fact, I'm going to make 3 more attempts throughout the day to call them back after I leave that first voicemail. Once I leave that first voicemail, if I obviously get them on the line, I want to go for that appointment. But I'm going to follow up with a video message greeting, and it's going to be personalized, and we're going to touch base on that in just a minute. Also, again, I usually send them a handwritten card so that, again, it's just another form of contact, and a handwritten card, even though it might take a day or 2 to get there, has a powerful effect as well. Then 2 hours later, and I usually, to remind myself, I'll set myself a phone appointment through the CRM. 2 hours later, I'm going to call that same customer. I'm not going to call from my office line, though. I'm going to call from my cell phone. And if I get their voicemail message again, I'm just going to hang up. I'm not going to leave a second voicemail, because what's going to happen is it's going to show as a missed call on their smartphone device or on their phone. Then I'm going to set myself another phone appointment for 2 hours out. Same thing, I'm going to call from my cell phone. And if I get their voicemail, I'm not going to leave a voicemail. So now it's going to be a voice message from 9, let's say you got the lead at 9 a.m. It'll be a voice message from you at 9 a.m. in the morning. And then 2 hours out, you're going to have, that customer's going to see that someone called them from another line with no voicemail. And then the 4th attempt is usually right around 4 o'clock, and I'm going to call from my office line again and say something very similar to what I left in the morning. I'm going to say, hi, Mr. Customer, it's Elise over at Sunset Honda. Tried to reach you earlier this morning in regards to your internet inquiry for the Honda Accord. I have some really great news for you. I've been trying to get in touch. I'll be in the office for another couple hours or so till 6 p.m. this evening. If you can give me a call back directly at, state your number. And if I don't hear back from you this evening, then I will try you again tomorrow morning. And then guess what? The next morning you follow that same process. And with this phone process, as well as it being implemented with the video message, you will get results. Even if it's that customer that's just going to call back and say, hey, you know what, I was just doing this online, or I'm really not interested in a car. It's better, it's better to get some type of response than just setting them out day after day after day and then marking them lost a week later because you can't get through to them. So, so this is what, as far as video messaging, if you have ever mystery shopped other dealerships and what they're doing, well, I encourage you to do that just so you can kind of see what a customer's seeing. And this is typically what they're going to see. They're going to see, you're going to put in a request, maybe on AutoVitel or Cars.com or whatever it is, maybe through the, the actual factory website, and it's going to shoot out to like 10 other different dealerships. So they're going to get their inbox filled with emails that are probably going to look similar to this. It's very simple. It's not really personalized. A lot of times the automated CRM systems will just put out the same thing to every customer. So imagine getting, it goes out to 10 dealerships. You get 9 emails that look like this, and then you get another email that looks like this. And with this email, it's going to have the customer's name. It's going to say, click here to play your personalized video message greeting. And again, I usually will send this email after I make a phone call. But when they click this video message, this is what they're going to see. It's going to open up, it's a video message that I've made for them. So this is an example of what it looks like. This next customer, just to kind of give you a preview, they had put in a request, I believe, for a Honda CR-V, new 2012 model. And I'm sure they were getting, emails from everybody else in the whole entire state, or at least the county. But I was able to capture them with this video message. So let me go ahead and play it for you.
Missing the audio.
For the all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Your offer came through,
So
and I always do like to verify, for the 2000...
let me go ahead and play that because I know the audio was off.
Hi, good morning, Sandy. My name's Elise Kephart. Hi, good morning, Sandy. My name's Elise Kephart from San Luis Obispo. I wanted to send you this personalized video message to thank you again for your internet inquiry for the all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Your order came through, and I always do like to verify, for the 2012 model Honda CR-V EXL in the Urban Titanium. The vehicle is actually, you know what, let's go out and take a look at it real quick. So I'm actually back here in our back lot of the dealership. I just got a new shipment of all sorts of vehicles here, but the one that we're going to focus on is this right here. It's the one that you inquired about, 2012 Honda CR-V EXL model in the Urban Titanium, and it is right here. This is what I like to call a freshie. Fresh off the truck. Now that we verified the vehicle, what I wanted to do was touch base on the order that you had sent over. I tell all of my customers that my main goal is to make sure they have a great experience when purchasing a vehicle. That being said, I want to be as completely as transparent as I can be on the pricing on a new Honda CR-V. So, what I'm doing here, I'm actually visiting a couple websites. One is TrueCar.com. What this is going to do is you can actually build the vehicle that you're looking to price out. So we're going to look at a 2012 Honda CR-V. We're going to bring it down to a EXL two-wheel drive model. And on here, you can see that the average person pays $27,581. So the average person on this vehicle is paying about $27,581. Another website to back up the validity is Edmunds.com. I'm going to go to True Market Value. Edmunds TMV, same thing, we're going to build out a 2012 Honda CR-V EXL two-wheel drive. Edmunds TMV, or True Market Value, says the true market value of this vehicle is $26,857. That's only a few $100s above my invoice cost. So here we've gone over a couple things. The MSRP on the vehicle, $28,075. The invoice, which is every Honda dealer what they paid for the vehicle. The invoice on a Honda CR-V EXL, $26,664. I value the opportunity to be of service, and so in doing that, I sell a vehicle just a couple $100 above my invoice. I have the vehicle in stock, and based on your phone number, it sounds like you're a local customer of ours. This will, I can have the vehicle ready for you today, and you can be driving off in your new Honda CR-V. Sandy, here's a few testimonials from some of my customers.
Elise is awesome and really easy to work with. I got a good price, I got good service, prompt, knowledgeable. My purchase with Elise was the best car buying experience.
I've purchased a lot of cars in my lifetime, and this has been the best experience working with Elise.
Thank you so much again, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Elise.
So that is...
Seriously, Elise, I got to tell you, I'm like almost in tears right now. I wish somebody would have sent me a video like that when I was buying a car. That is so powerful. I mean, look, it's no secret. I've never worked in a dealership. I've never sold a car. It's not my gig, you know. And I know it's a hard job. But believe me, being from the shopper's point of view, that you already sold me. I want to buy a car from you, but I'm over in New Jersey. Now, I did want to... before you go any further, because you had me at hello. I just I want to know. Well, first of all, I want to say if that video came across as being a little choppy, that sometimes happens, you know, during a webinar because there's so many people on the webinar today.
Okay.
But you will obviously. I think everyone here got the idea of what you did and how powerful that was. Now, before we go any further, I just have to ask: before you started doing these kind of videos, you know, like how many cars do you sell now because of these videos? Like what's the difference been in the ease of closing? You know, has your closing ratio doubled? Can you give us a little bit of background on that?
Yeah. Well, you know, originally when I first got in the car business, you know, I started, I think, like a lot of us do, and I just started on the actual sales floor, and I did that for about 2 years at a dealership down in San Diego. And then when I moved back up to San Luis Obispo, it's the Central Coast here in California, I started working at Sunset Honda, and pretty quickly I got moved to the Internet department. And coming from the sales floor, moving to the Internet department, you know, what I kind of discovered really easily was, again, you know, why am I not getting these customers to respond to me, you know? And so what I did was I did some mystery shops originally in the beginning, and kind of thought to myself, well, if I was a customer, you know, what would I want to see? What's gonna, you know, how as an internet director can I stand out from all these other, you know, everybody else in the area? If I'm shopping for a car, how is my email? How am I going to capture this customer? And so I started doing these videos probably about 2.5, 3 years ago, and you know, if you can view them all on the YouTube.com/Sunset Honda channel. But if you kind of backtrack all the videos, what you'll see is it took me, you know, it took a little bit to kind of fine-tune what I was going to say in a video, and each customer is different. But what I get now, and I'll show you some examples later. What I get now is just a lot of customers where if you can't get that customer into the store or on the phone, you know, some customers, especially through the internet, only want to communicate via email. Well, you need to make it as personable as you can, because in that video, you know, now they can see you, they can hear you, they can read your body language, and it's almost like you're there with them, you know, sitting at your desk in person, where you have that control of the customer. But minimum amount of cars, I mean, you should easily be selling 20 cars or more based off of this process. If you know, and again, the hardest thing I think for a lot of people is just stepping outside of the box and learning how to do it. But once you fine-tune your process, it's really easy to do, and it works really well.
Seriously, Elise, I don't understand how any lead that you send one of these videos to would not email or call you back. I really don't. I think it's brilliant. Oh, and by the way, Bob agrees. Bob says brilliant. So, and Rick said he couldn't hear. How many cars minimum do you sell a month?
I average at least 20. So
minimum of 20. There
yeah.
you go, Rick. Okay, please continue.
And I
love
get
this.
weekends off. And I get weekends off, I should say. So I only work about 20 days a month, and I don't sell less than 20.
Yeah, and AJ wrote in, and he said he loved that you put that section of the reviews at the very tail end of the video. He loved that part, and I do too. That's the seller right there. So what tools do we need?
So the tools that you're going to need, let's just start off kind of with the basics. Yourself, that's the first thing that you're going to need. You need to have confidence in yourself. A lot of the, you know, I've gotten this question a lot. Well, how are you so comfortable on the camera? And the truth is, a lot of times I'm not, you know, especially if it's just one of those days where I'm just having an off day. But the thing about these video messages is you can mess up what you're saying. You can kind of have a blank moment, and you can just edit it out later, even if it's just a slip up in a sentence. So having confidence in yourself is, you know, the first part, being confident in what you do and the product that you sell. And customers can see that in video again. So if you in your video are implying that, you know, you don't have, you know, you don't like where you work and you aren't confident in the product that you sell or the service that you give, then that's going to be able to reflect in your video. So the first tool that you're going to need is yourself, and just knowing again that if you're camera shy at first, it's okay. If you mess up something in, you know, what you're saying, that's okay too, because you can just always clip it out. And I'm gonna show you what I mean once we get to the editing process. The next is you'll need a digital camera, webcam, or even a smartphone device will work. All the smartphones pretty much now have a video setting. Myself, I use a digital camera. It's a Nikon J1. If you use a webcam, you can do that as well. Pretty much all the newer computers, newer laptops come standard with a webcam. If you have a PC or Windows running software, you'll need a PC or laptop with Windows XP or higher as the running software. And the movie editing program, if your computer is being based off of Windows XP, Windows Movie Maker 2.6 is the editing software that you can use. If you're running Vista, Windows Vista or higher, Windows Live Movie Maker is going to be what you're going to use. And how do you get those? Well, most of them come standard on the computer when you purchase it, but if it doesn't have it, again, if you're running Windows XP, you can go to Google, and it's a free download. So again, as far as just a budget, you know, all these things that you're going to learn today really don't, you know, you don't have to go and invest thousands of dollars in a, you know, a high-tech camera and a, you know, a video room or a green screen room. All this is just really, really basic stuff. So Windows Movie Maker 2.6 is a free download. And then again, if you're running Windows Vista, you want to download Windows Live Movie Maker if it's not already previously installed. If you're running a Apple software, or you know, you have an iMac, MacBook Pro, you're going to run you're going to get a program called iMovie. And I believe it's free on all the recent Macs as well. So iMovie is the version that I started using probably about close to a year ago, but it's only available on the Apple product. The program that we're actually going to learn today, though, is going to be this one back here, Windows Live Movie Maker. Again, that's it's going to be available for Windows Vista or higher. If you're using the Windows Movie Maker 2.6, it's going to be very similar. So a lot of the stuff that you pick up today, you should be able to use it in the if you're running Windows XP. If you don't want to do editing and you just want to send, I always like to say any video is better than no video. You can use your webcam directly, and you can go to a website, and it's free. You create an account. It's called ijot.com. And with iJot, you can just pretty much instantaneously, within 30 seconds, as opposed to 5 minutes, send just a quick video message directly from your webcam. It's not going to have any text or editing features to it. It's just going to be a very simple webcam greeting. But like I said, any video is going to be better than no video at all. So the first steps: place your camera, or try. You know, you get the internet lead. You make that phone call when you're sending out your email or video message. Place the camera on a tripod or another flat surface. Make sure there's okay lighting where you're at, no background noise. A lot of the videos that I do, I just record straight from my desk. I'm pretty much out. My office is out on the sales floor, and sometimes there's music playing in the background, or you have the receptionist paging someone in the background. I try as best as possible to not have those in my videos, but again, just make sure the lighting's okay and there's not a lot of background noise. And when you record your greeting, you want to be sure to speak loud, clear. Again, put personality into it. Not everybody's personality is the same, but show yourself in the video. Sell yourself. So smile, be personable, and again, if you mess up what you're saying, it's okay because you can always edit it out later. And then if you're using a webcam, usually webcam microphones aren't quite as strong, so just make sure that you project loud enough so the video will capture your voice. Because again, your voice, your tone, your body language and your gestures, those are going to be the key things in these videos that you want to present. So this next video here, it's going to be run off of Windows 7. Windows Vista is going to be very similar, and again, this video program is for the Windows Live Movie Maker. It's going to walk you step by step after you record your greeting, how you're going to slice it together, and how you're, ultimately it's going to create one of those videos that you send to a customer. So let me go ahead and show you guys how to put this video greeting together. And once you learn this program, again, it's incredibly easy. It just becomes part of your process, and it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to put a greeting together.
All right, so here I've taken my camera off the tripod. I have emptied the card reader, and I put that card into my PC laptop. So here you have your main desktop on a PC computer. This running software is Windows 7, Windows Vista, and of course Windows XP. It's going to look somewhat different, but I will go over the basics. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to the Start menu right over here. I'm going to open up this program right over here. Again, this is a free download, Windows Live Movie Maker. That's going to open up just like this, and this is going to be your home screen in Windows Live Movie Maker. So the first thing that you need to do is we need to click over here to find that video that we just recorded on our tripod. Now this video is going to be all the raw footage. It's going to be even with those little mess-ups that we did. So I'm going to hit click here, and I've actually inserted the card already, so I'm going to find that. It's going to be in my computer. It'll be this SD card right over here, and that movie should actually be right here. It's right here. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that till it's blue and hit open. Now that's going to open. Now this sometimes takes a minute or two to just upload, just because it is in 720 HD quality. And so it's preparing the video for you right now. A couple of, while this is loading over here, I will go over a couple of things. This right over here is going to be, as your video plays, you're going to see it kind of go throughout the video. Anytime you want to play or pause the video, you're going to hit the space bar, and I'll show you about that in just a minute. Now the different options up here, you're going to be able to change your animations, your visual effects, and if you go back to your home screen here, there's a text or caption box right over here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and let this prepare. All right, great. So if you go ahead and play this, and again, to play it, you can play it right over here. This is going to be a preview of anything you see. You can hit play right here, or if you prefer, again, you can just hit the space bar. And so you can just hit the space bar on your computer just like this, and it'll play it back. So, and then I hit the space bar again when I want to stop it. So go, stop, go, stop, go, stop. Now, anytime what we're going to do here is we're going to splice up this entire clip, because right now this is just one big clip. There's no edits into it. So when you want to make a splice, or when you want to make a split, these are the things to remember. You want to make a split anytime you're going to do any type of transition, such as a fade-in effect. You want to do the split anytime you know you're going to add text. So for example, I'm going to add text when I say my name my phone number, and so that you're going to want to split it when you hear those two things. So any type of transition or any type of text, you're going to want to make a split. So we'll go ahead and play this through. I'm going to hit the space bar again. And you can fast forward this. If you know that you don't need any of this stuff, this is just me talking to the other camera. You can fast forward it. And you can see right about here is where I'm going to start. So you can even take this back with your mouse, hold it back, just like that. Now what you're going to do is the right click on your mouse. So just like this, the right click on your mouse. You're going to hit that bar, it gives you these options. We're going to go to split right over here. Now you can see that it's split to two clips. There's this clip and there's this clip. And we don't need any of this, so we can actually just hit the delete button. And now you've deleted that entire clip. So you just go through and make your splits. Again, anytime you know you're going to have a text or any type of transition, you want to split it. And then, of course, to cut out any dead air or any mess-ups, you want to split that out as well. So just think of it like a film strip, and you just want to cut and paste together the things that you want to use.
Hi, Mr. Customer. It's Elise Kephart with ABC Motors.
So right here is where I know, just thinking ahead of time, that I'm going to make a transition. So again, I hit my space bar. I'm going to right-click my mouse, and I'm going to hit split.
Thank you again for your internet.
So all this obviously is mess-ups.
Thank you again for your internet inquiry for the 2011.
So those are two mess-ups right here, and I think this third one I get it right. So I'm going to stop it right here, right-click my mouse, and split again.
Thank you again for your internet inquiry for the 2012 Honda CR-V.
Now I'm going to split that because I think I'm going to do a transition later on, so I'm going to go ahead and split that. Now this whole clip right here, since these are all mess-ups, I can just highlight those so they're in blue, and then just take a delete, just like that. Let's start back over here.
I value the opportunity to be of service of you, and I tell all of my customers that my main goal here at ABC Motors is to give you a world-class experience that you will get nowhere else except for me and except for here.
So you can say whatever you want there, you know, kind of sell yourself, sell your dealership a little bit. Why should they buy from you versus down on the street?
My direct phone number is area code.
This is where I'm going to say my phone number, so I know I'm going to put some text there, so again, I'm going to right-click my mouse and hit split.
5441-3398. Thank you, sir.
All right, and I'm going to do the thank you as another transition. So you can kind of back this up a little bit, and I'm going to right-click my mouse again, hit split.
Again, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Now, you want to end it, of course, where you're still looking at the camera. I'm going to back this line up. I'm going to right-click this and hit split again. Now, all of this is what I don't need, so you can actually highlight it, and you know it's highlighted when it's in the blue, and then you just hit delete. So now if I play this all the way through, you can see I've taken out all the mess-ups, but there's no little cool transitions or text yet. So we'll go over that in just a moment.
Hi, Mr. Customer. It's Elise Kephart with ABC Motors. Thank you again for your internet inquiry for the 2012 Honda CR-V. I value the opportunity to be of service of you, and I tell all of my customers that my main goal here at ABC Motors is to give you a world-class experience that you will get nowhere else except for me and except for here. My direct phone number is area code 5-441-3398. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
All right. So now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to put some little transitions. So anytime you want to do transition or kind of a cool effect, so you're going to highlight that clip until it's blue. So see how it's blue here or on the border? Now you've highlighted that clip. We are then going to go to visual effects right over here. And you can do apply to all if you would like. That sometimes makes it easier. So I'm going to actually go apply to all. And I'm going to do the
Hi, Mr. Customer.
fade in from white effect. So if you just click that, you can continue to do that for all of clips. And you can play with it. There's some different effects here.
And I value the opportunity.
So you can play with them as you like. But I'm just going to go ahead and do the white effect for each one.
My direct.
You can tell that's been applied when it has this little box right here. And I'll do the one for right over here. And so now what we have, if we start from the beginning, put your bar right over here, hit the space bar.
Hi, Mr. Customer. It's Elise Kephart with ABC Motors. Thank you again for your internet inquiry for the 2012 Honda CR-V. I value the opportunity to be of service, and I tell all of my customers that my main goal here at ABC Motors is to give you a world-class experience that you will get nowhere else except for me and except for here. My direct phone number is area code 805-441-3398. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Now, if you want to have a little bit more fun with some other stuff, you can use some of these animations right over here. And with these animations, you can kind of see.
Hi, Mr. Customer. Hi, Mr. Customer.
You can kind of see some of the.
Hi, Mr. Customer.
So we'll go ahead and use that one just for fun.
Hi, Mr. Customer. It's Elise Kephart with ABC Motors. Thank you again for your internet inquiry for the 2012 Honda CR-V. Thank you again for your internet inquiry.
So from here is where you can kind of play with
Thank you again for your internet inquiry.
So I'll kind of play with those a little bit. I'll highlight the clip that I want.
I value the opportunity to be able to
play with them a little bit. And I'll do this one.
Thank you so much again.
So now when we kind of use some of the fun animations, this is what you have.
Thank you so much again, and I look forward to speaking.
From the beginning.
Hi, Mr. Customer. It's Elise Kephart with ABC Motors. Thank you again for your internet inquiry for the 2012 Honda CR-V. I value the opportunity to be of service. I tell all of my customers that my main goal here at ABC Motors is to give you a world-class experience that you will get nowhere else except for me and except for here. My direct phone number is area code 805-441-3398. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
So now the only thing that we need to do is text. So to go to text, we're going to go back to our home screen right over here. We're going to hit the clip that we want to add text to. We're going to hit caption right over here, caption. We're going to hit caption, and you can see that just like in Microsoft Word, you can kind of move this anywhere you want. I'm going to go ahead and right align it here. I'm going to highlight this so that it has my name. I'll go ahead and backspace. I'll put Elise Kephart. I usually put my name and title, Internet Manager, and you can move that kind of up if you like. So, and again, if I move like this, so I can actually move it back. And then text. Now, let's say you want it to be longer, because right now it's a little bit short. Text duration over here is 3.01 seconds. Let's go ahead and set it up for 5 seconds. So now you have.
Hi, Mr. Customer. It's Elise Kephart with ABC Motors. Thank you again for your inquiry for the 2012.
And the only other time that I really would use text is right down at this clip where I'm going to have the phone number. So I'm going to highlight it again, this clip, so that it's blue. I'm going to hit caption right over here. I'm going to make my phone number as large as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that with my mouse. I'm going to go ahead and make that. I'm just going to make it 36. I can move it up a little bit. Go ahead and make it bold. You know what? I'll go even one step bigger. I'll do 48, just like this. And you can even kind of play with the transition.
805, 805, 805, 805, 805, 805, 4.
So you can go ahead and do that. So it's a little bit more fun. So now we have our final project. We'll go ahead and play it one more time so you can see how it became from nothing to what it is.
Hi, Mr. Customer. It's Elise Kephart with ABC Motors. Thank you again for your internet inquiry for the 2012 Honda CR-V. I value the opportunity to be of service of you, and I tell all of my customers that my main goal here at ABC Motors is to give you a world-class experience that you will get nowhere else except for me and except for here. My direct phone number is area code 855-441-3398. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
All right, so that is it. You are done.
And I should mention again, when you get familiar with this program, you should only take about 5 minutes before you can actually send them off to a customer. The last part is going to, of course, be saving it. All right. So that again was using Windows Live Movie Maker for on how to edit that video together. From there, once you save it, it's a really quick upload to YouTube. And so if your dealership doesn't have a YouTube account, it is YouTube is paired side by side with Gmail. So you can log in with your Gmail username, and right when you log into YouTube, right on your home screen there's an upload button, and that's where you upload the video that you just created, and you apply it into the email that you're sending to the customer. So I usually will have my CRM up on one screen, my YouTube account on another tab, and the Windows Live Movie Maker or video editing program that I'm using, so that I can, again, kind of just do it all at once. I'll make the video, upload it to YouTube. While it's uploading to YouTube, I'm going to be writing my email out to that customer so that by the time YouTube creates a link for me for that video, I can just copy and paste it over into my email and then send it right out. So this slide right here, if you've already kind of read what it says, this was a customer. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure this happens a lot. I'm sure it's not just me. But you get an internet lead with a bad phone number or no phone number at all. And so there's no way really to call that customer. Well, this customer, I knew it was a Mickey Mouse phone number because it was like an 805-555-5555 number. So the number I knew was bad. And so I actually sent him a video message greeting, and he put in the request as Toby. You know, sometimes you get internet requests where it's like Mickey Mouse. You obviously know it's a fake name. Well, I didn't know it was a fake name, but he put in the request for Toby. So I sent him a video message that said, "Hi, Toby, it's Elise from Sunset Honda." You know, and I sent him a personalized video message to Toby, and this is the reply that I got back the next morning. It said, "Hi, Elise," and this is a key statement right here that I want you guys to focus on. "I'm very happy to discover that you are a real person and not an automated response from my online submission. My real name is actually Bert Kasha Hare. Toby is my dog's name, and we live up in the Tascadero. Our third child's on the way next March, so it's time to fulfill my paternal destiny and get a minivan or a Honda Odyssey." So this was when the new the new body style and the Odysseys came out. They weren't really being discounted too much because they were, they were new body style and everything like that. But just from this, I saved this email because, again, it says it right there. You know, customers automatically usually have a fear factor of putting in their real phone number, their real name, and so you need to break that barrier with them. And he even said it. "You're not an automated response. I can tell you're a real person." And he ended up coming in that next day and purchasing a new Odyssey from me. So the power of video, I can't stress enough, it sets yourself apart from just an automated template from the guy that's just putting a just using his CRM auto templates down the street. So video, like I said, captures those customers where they want that personal attention, and that's going to help you guys sell more cars.
Actually, Mason just wrote in and he said, "This is really great because it gets you an appointment, and appointments sells cars." 3
Yes.
exclamation points. So
Yes.
excellent point, Mason. I do want everyone that's on the webinar here now to know that when I send you the link to the recording this evening, I will also send you a link to that great how-to video from Elise, who made it special just for this webinar with us today. So you'll have both. You can watch it in the recording, or you can go directly to that how-to video if that helps you out as well. So that'll be in there as well. Okay, please keep going.
Let's take a look here. So again, with these video messages, it's not just the video that's selling. Again, I can't stress enough. It's part of an entire process. for me to stay here and say, okay, if you send them a video message, you're 100% of the time you're going to sell that car, you're going to bring them in. Again, it's part of that process that I did touch base on previous to showing you how to make the video message. And that process is make the phone call. Don't just make that one lazy attempt and a fake, and an automated template in the morning. Make that phone call, leave that voice message, send them a personalized video greeting, send them a handwritten thank you card. Not a lot of salespeople go that extra mile to do that, and then continue. Make 4 attempts to that customer that day, and always leave again with the voice message that you leave. Always say, if I don't hear back from you this morning, I'll try you again a little bit later today, because it's not you're implying to that customer what your goals are, what you're going to do, and that is you're going to keep in contact with them until they call you back, or guess what? They're going to get another call from you. So, but really, like I said, with what I've just with this process that I use, I get a response back, whether it's email or whether it's phone. I prefer to have phone because once I have that customer on the phone, it's a live-to-live conversation, or it's a live conversation, and you can, the right process and the right word verbiage, you can easily set that appointment, and that's ultimately what the type of business that we're in. We're not in a, we want to get that customer on the phone so that we can set that appointment, and that's going to be the highest closing ratios that you guys have is when it's a preset appointment. So.
Thank God we got here, because let me tell you, I have so many questions for you. We have a ton of questions for you. Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready. Let's hear them.
All right. Let's try and get as many questions as we can, because I know we're already really close to the top of the hour. So short answers, concise answers. You ready,
Okay.
Elise? Okay.
Yes.
Rapid fire. Here we go. First question
All right.
comes to us from Chris. Chris asks, do you make a video for every lead? That's a great question. Do you?
Yes, I do. I make a video for every lead. Now, if it's a day where I have, 4 appointments set up, I know I have 2 deliveries that day, and I just know I'm booked, I do have video messages where it could just be a testimonial clip that I'm going to send to that customer, or a quick webcam video that I'll shoot off into that customer in 30 seconds versus the 5 minutes. But every customer needs a video. Absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, next question comes to us from Jen. Jen asks, how long should these videos be? Hey, can you put it on your mugshot? We love to see your pretty face.
Oh. Videos, again, depending on the customer, a lot of these videos are, the one that we watched earlier was, I think, three minutes, and that was for a very specific customer that I couldn't get in the store, didn't have a phone number for. But for the most part, a lot of these video greetings are maybe 30 to 45 seconds, and it's just saying who you are, where you work, thanking them for the opportunity to be of service, and then your contact information. So a lot of the video messages are only about 30 to 45 seconds, very brief but very powerful.
Okay, the questions are flooding in right now. So we had 3 people that kind of asked the same question. We had Edward, who said, what do you use for your screen capture? We had Mark, who said, oh my gosh, everything's moving. Do you ever miss other leads because you're editing? I stepped away for a minute, but what software do you use to record your screen? And then Charles also said, how do you record the computer screen for your video? So
That
kind of the
is-
same kind of questions, yeah.
Yeah, I use QuickTime for that. So QuickTime, there is a screen recording option, and so you can basically whatever you do on your screen, it will record it, and then you can just paste that into your video message. So the screen recording where you saw where I'm doing the research, like the customer's here and saying, here, Mr. Customer, here is a TrueCar website where it shows what people are paying for this car. Here is, the Edmunds TMV. All that's screen captured, and I did that through I used QuickTime.
So you use QuickTime. We also had a attendee right now who says Jing is awesome for screen capture. So that's
Yes.
Jing, J-I-N-G.
Yes, Jing is another good one.
Yes, Steve, I want to thank you for that. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to this next question. Randy wants to know what CRM tool you have. What CRM do you use?
Am I allowed to share that without? I use a.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. No, it's actually currently for the past 3 years I've been using iMagic Lab or Dealer CRM.
Okay.
And Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for that. Mitch asks, oh, this is a great question. Do you reference the video in the subject line? What are some subject lines that will increase your open rates? That's a great question.
Yeah. Usually what I'll put is I will put, hi Chris, Elise from Sunset Honda, capital R, capital E, semicolon, in regards to, Honda Accord request. I think that is one thing that I could work on as far as, or a lot of times I'll say, Elise sent you a personalized video greeting, or Elise sent you a personalized video message, so that they know, again, that when they're opening that email, it's not just going to be a canned speech that they're getting from everybody else, but it's going to be much more personal. So, and then what I'll do actually, here's something that I didn't touch base on, is a lot of times, because there is an embedded link, a lot of times your email might go to spam. So right after that, right after I send that video message email, I'll actually send them just a very simple, no graphics in it whatsoever, not even my business signature card, and it'll just say, hi Mr. Customer, it's Elise from Sunset Honda. I just sent you a personalized video message in a previous email with some really important information. Sometimes it goes into your junk or spam filter. Let me know if you didn't receive it. Thanks, Elise. And it doesn't have any type of, anything
that could hinder it from getting to its destination.
Right.
That's
smart.
smart.
So I'll actually send a confirmation right after that to make sure that they did receive it.
That's really smart, really smart. Okay, let's move on, because seriously, I have like 15 questions here. Rick wrote in, what do you recommend if you're not, what do you recommend if you are new to computers and not that literate in it yet? So I know before you were saying, what kind of software, video editing software you used. So which one out of those 3 or 4 that you mentioned do you think would be best for someone like me?
Windows Live Movie Maker is probably the most basic. However, again, switching over to the Apple world, iMovie has there's a little bit more stuff you can do with it, and it is pretty easy to learn. Again, but Windows Live Movie Maker, the demonstration that you guys saw, it's as easy as that, and it just takes, it might take a session of you sitting down and playing with it and playing with all the buttons, just like you would with anything else. If a new car came out with a new navigation system and a new technology, you kind of have to play with it yourself and figure out how to use it. But hopefully the demonstration that I did kind of walked you through it. But Windows Live Movie Maker is a very easy program to use, and that's what I would start off with.
Okay, well, Rick wanted me to let you know that nowadays you need every advantage you can get. And Hernando said that this is great info, so I wanted to let you know you're doing an awesome job. Okay, next question comes to us from Steven. Hey, Steve. He wants to know, why do you put the annotations in the video instead of doing the annotations on YouTube?
Annotations, what do you mean by that?
When you added the text on the video. That's when he wrote this in.
Right. I do have it on YouTube as well. So as far as like my contact information, it is on YouTube underneath that. But again, it's all visual presentation. So when they're watching that video, if they're watching it full screen or they're watching it on their smartphone, if they're watching that YouTube video on their smartphone, it's not going to show all your content underneath. So it's all visual. It's showing your face. It's showing what you're saying, and it has the text contact over your face as they're watching it. Because not everybody might not be watching it on a computer where they can see the everything else on YouTube. But if they're watching from a smartphone or from a tablet, it's all there right in front of them.
Okay, and I think it looks much. I like that there's annotations available on YouTube, and that's great. But I thought it looked much more professional. Just strictly speaking, from a shopper point of view, from a marketing point of view. I thought it looked very, very clean the way you did it, Elise. I really do. But I guess maybe if you're not good with adding the text, you could use the annotations on YouTube. Okay, next question comes to us from Bob. Bob wants to know, how do you embed the video in the email? Now, most people would just put a link, but you actually had like a little doodad. Let's call it a doodad because that's the way I do it.
Yeah, so if I go back here to this is a templated email here, like this. You can see that this right here is just a JPEG that I have created, and you can make that, and all that it is it says, click here to play your personal video greeting from Elise. So that JPEG always stays the same and then what I'll do is I'll actually highlight this picture and this first sentence here. And there's a little paperclip icon on most email settings, and that's where you'll link in the YouTube video. So it doesn't actually have the full link that they click on, but it just says, you know, click here. And so when they click that, it's going to direct to the YouTube video. But this was just made in Photoshop, or you can even use Microsoft Paint to just make a little picture, a little play button for the customer to, you know, to play or to hit.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, Bob, I hope that helped you out. Steve wrote back into us, and he says, does every salesperson at your store use your techniques? Do they?
They do not, no. And I think it's, I'll be honest, they don't. I think it's again, that learning curve. Some people just don't want to make that extra effort. Some people don't want to make that, you know, don't want to learn something new. I think this still is somewhat new technology, and if it's kind of out of people's comfort zones, a lot of times, you know, people are comfortable where they're at. So not everybody does use it.
Okay.
At my store.
Interesting. Well, I mean,
yeah.
Some people are old school. That's fine too. You know, that takes all kinds. Okay, next one comes to us from, oh my gosh, I hope I can say this without butchering it too much. Kaliko. Kaliko asks, will you place a testimonial clip with the links?
So, are you talking about at the end of the video message?
I don't know. That's
Okay.
that's all it says.
Yeah. So the testimonial clips that you saw at the end, all of that was, I don't edit that together every time. That's just a pre-saved template. And so what I'll do at the end when I'm editing the video is I'll say my video greeting, and then I'll say, here's some testimonials for my customers, and that's kind of just the closing, you know, last 10 seconds that they see is just those testimonials, and it's the same.
I was going to say that's funny because AJ wrote in with kind of, he said, so the review part is just a stored file that you add on to the end of your edited video, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, and if you go to YouTube and search Sunset Honda, you can see the majority. Some of them are kept private. You can see a good portion of the videos that I do, and you can see a very similar pattern to pretty much all of them.
Oh, and can you give us that again? It's Sunset Honda. What is it?
It's youtube.com/Sunset Honda, all one word.
Ah, perfect. Okay. Go to your mugshot. You keep going to this graphic. There you go. All right. Let's take a look at this next question. Charles wrote in, what template do you use to send to your customers that has the quick link for the video you make? So I guess you don't really use a template, right? And I guess we kind of already went over that.
Right.
On how to embed that video.
Right.
Charles, if you have a follow-up question, let me know, okay? Next question comes to us from Anthony. He says, average time it takes you to create the video, and do you have examples of the canned videos you have? I think that's what you said. So your examples are on YouTube.com.
Okay. Right, yeah, YouTube.com. Oh, are you talking about the ones that are just a little bit more generic?
I'm just reading the question.
Okay. Well, the ones that are the ones that I spend like 20 seconds on are usually just webcam videos, and I usually resort to that again if I know that I have to take an internet lead and I have a really busy day ahead of me. But for the most part, if the videos that you see on the Sunset Honda website or Sunset Honda YouTube site, 5 minutes is all that it takes for me to, you know, record what I'm going to say, pop it into my computer, slice it together, and upload it to YouTube. So, but as far as the ones that are a little bit more generic, those, you know, because I don't use it really much graphic or any text or anything like that, it's just strictly a webcam setting. I actually usually will do that directly from my CRM program because they're actually, you can use iJot, which I told you about earlier, iJot.com, but the CRM program that I do use, iMagicLab, there's a direct webcam upload feature where you can just say what you want to say in 5 seconds and then send it straight from the CRM program itself with a webcam shot.
Okay, well, Elise, we have a lot of questions still left. Should we keep on going? Because I know it's 10 minutes after the hour, and everyone's still hanging on. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, Anthony, I hope that helped you out. Yeah, really, 5 minutes. Seriously. Okay, next question comes to us from Russ. He says, so most videos are the greeting and don't have the outside walk and testimonials?
Again, I'll take each customer, you know, each customer differently. Sometimes I speak to the customer on the phone, and you know they just want a quote. So better, you know, rather than just sending them a quote, I'm going to do that extra step and take the video camera out, show them the car that they're interested in, so that, again, they can kind of visualize it. But for the most part, if it's just a customer that I am trying to get in touch with, it's just going to be a 30 to 45-second video greeting saying who you are, where you work, thanking them for their request, and usually a lot of times in my videos I'll even say, I just wanted to send you this personal video message, so that I could properly introduce myself. You had a name with the face, so that you know who's going to be working for you. Just something very simple like that. And then there are certain situations where, like I said, if I'm sending a quote over and I know that I'm going to be competing with a bunch of other dealerships, I want to make that extra step to send them a quote, maybe send them some screenshots like I did on that previous example, where they can see the transparency. They can see that, I'm not a car salesperson trying to just rip them off with a high quote. They can see where I'm coming from.
Right, right. Okay, Russ, I hope that helped you out. Edward had an interesting question. He says, can you elaborate on your greeting card step? Do you really handwrite all of your greeting cards?
I think I know who Edward is. I actually use I signed up with a company called Send Out Cards, and I used to actually handwrite cards out, and it took quite a while.
Oh, yeah. I used to do that, too. That takes a long time.
Send Out Cards, it's cool because you can actually, you send in your own, so you can actually handwrite out each letter, send out your font to this company, and then send a handwritten card from your computer, but it's actually in your own handwriting, if that makes sense. So so now I'm able to actually send a personalized video greeting from the computer, from this website, and it has my handwriting on it. It's just in a digital format, and then it sends it out for you. You can even send cookies to the customer, or a gift card or something like that. So I use a company called Send Out Cards to write that handwritten card out to them.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, we have a 4-part question from our next attendee. Right, Chelsea? Okay, so Chelsea wrote in, maybe we should just take it one step at a time. She says, are you the only person in the department making these videos and handling leads? So just to be safe, are you we already covered that you're the only person in the store that makes these videos, but are you the only one who actually gets the leads?
No, I will say I've kind of my history here with Sunset Honda. I was here for about 2.5 years, and then for about 6 months, I stopped working here, and I started working with Jerry and doing some training with him across the country. Jerry with Phone Ninjas, and then then we found out, my boyfriend and I found out that we're pregnant.
Yay!
So I came, so that I wasn't going to be able to travel quite as much, so I came back to Sunset Honda in June of this year. And since I have been back, I don't handle all the internet leads. I handle actually a small portion of them. I mostly kind of oversee a lot of the stuff, a lot of how the leads are handled, and I also do a lot of customer retention stuff off the leases and refinances and stuff like that. So I don't handle as many internet leads as I used to. There are about 2 other people that handle the internet leads here as well.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, well, I should correct. It's the 4-part question, but it's actually from a few people. It's from Stephanie, Chelsea, and Tommy from Preston Superstore in Ohio. Next part of the question.
Ohio.
I know, right? Next part of the question is, how did you go about getting your testimonials and producing your own professional stock footage? Because it sounded like they were phoned in. Is that what you did?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I actually called some just really good customers that I knew would give a great testimonial, and I just recorded their audio, and I said, hey, I'm putting a testimonial video together. Do you mind if I, use you in my video? And they were like, oh, absolutely. So then I just asked them some questions. How was your car buying experience? Would you recommend me to anybody? And then I just kind of clipped certain portions of what they said and kind of blended it all together. And then the video footage of where you saw me kind of walking around the dealership, that was actually, it's a little bit older footage. That was taken probably about 2 years ago. But I had a friend take his video camera out and kind of just shoot me walking around the lot here at Sunset Honda. And then I laid over my testimonials over that.
Very effective.
Video,
very effective.
Yeah, video footage.
Okay, from that same group of crazy kids over there in Ohio, they also want to know, what aspects of the vehicle do you specifically like to go into when doing your walkarounds? Obviously, a full walkaround would be too much time, too time consuming.
Right.
So what should be highlighted? What do you?
That is true. Again, with the videos, a lot of times if you make it too long, you know, I've seen walkarounds that are 15 minutes. The customer's going to lose attention. So a lot of time, I'll just get them, you know, excited about the car, and I'll walk them to the back, you know, the back lot like I did, and I'll say, this one just came off the truck. It's still in the plastic. It's that urban titanium, which is the color that you want. The EXL model is top of the line with the nice leather interior. Check out this, you know, and I'll do a very brief walk around, more so creating excitement about the vehicle than, you know, the laundry list of features that it might have. So.
Well, I want to thank Stephanie, Chelsea, and Tommy from Preston Superstore for all of those great questions. They actually have some more questions for you, which we'll get to in another minute or so. Steve wrote in, why doesn't management, presumably at Sunset Honda, make it the law of the land that everyone do what you do? And I don't know if Elise can actually answer that.
I don't know if you know, everybody, I will say I work at a great dealership, and there's just, I mean, I think all you guys know working in a dealership, there's just so many different, you know, so many different things that to run a dealership that kind of has to be handled. I think after, you know, my sales manager and I kind of talked about this actually a couple days ago. I'm going to take maternity leave here in about a month and a half or so. And when I come back from maternity leave, I think that's going to be a strong focus on kind of setting up, you know, really kind of forming a, you know, a consistency across the board with just how we handle internet leads, as well as getting everybody on board with a certain process with outbound phone calls and phone training and everything like that. So we're going to bring Jerry and his company on board, you know, probably at that time as well. So.
Right.
But at this point, you know, it's just kind of been my own niche that I've done for a few years, and I never really expected it to kind of catch on the way that it has. But like I said, the past couple years, it started, like I said, with just the videos being showcased at certain events, and then me getting emails all the time on how I did, you know, what kind of tools that I used and everything like that. So since then, I've kind of just been doing webinars like this or doing on-site training to kind of show people how, you know, what I do.
It's my pleasure to have you here. I'm going to bother you with some more moments of your time so that we can get some more of these questions. By the way, Kaliko wrote in and said, great job, and Russ wrote in, the few who actually do this will really set themselves apart, and I absolutely agree. Okay, next question from our friends over there in Ohio. They want to know, what percentage would you say of your total leads received that you send these videos to, which we already cover, 100% of your leads you do it to, right? Actually reply and or actually commit to coming in or buy, etc.?
You know, I haven't really calculated out the amount of leads that I take now, kind of the second time around since I've been back in June. But I will say before that time, I would probably get about 100 leads a month, and I would sell 20 cars easily a month. So that's at a 20% closing ratio for internet leads, which is really, really high.
Very high, very high. And we wish you continued success, of course. Okay.
And then I real quick on that, I can say, I guess, since I don't handle 100 leads now, I kind of am just the overflow of the internet traffic now, but I mean, it's probably a higher, I would say a higher closing ratio, or it seems like a higher closing ratio on those, getting those customers at least in the store and closing them and selling the car, just because, I mean, I would even say, I would have to calculate it, but it's at least 20% or higher.
Right, right. Okay.
Because again, I'm not taking 100 leads anymore. I'm, you know, taking a very small portion of them, and I'm at least selling 20 cars a month. So.
Okay. We have a similar question from two of our attendees. JR wrote in, since the buying cycle is 45 to 90 days, do you continue to send videos throughout the buying cycle? Where our friends in Ohio, Chelsea particularly, wrote in, with your customers that you send generic videos to, do you follow up with a personal video once you get their time, or do you wait for a response to send a personalized follow-up video email? So how do you handle the long buying cycle?
The long buying cycle.
Yeah.
You know, I will be honest. When I use it with the phone process that I use, they usually don't drag out that long for 45 days. I usually will get a response, even if it says, stop calling me or stop emailing me, whatever it is. Because again, I think the flaw in the system that's broken here is a lot of people out there will make the one phone call, send the one video message, and then put them out for the next day, and then not hear back. And so they'll put them out for the next day and put them out for the next day. But if you really go at it and set yourself phone appointments for that same customer every 2 hours, you send them that first initial video greeting, and you continue to do that. And on your voicemails, you say, if I don't hear back from you this evening, I'll be in the office till, for about another hour or so, till 6 p.m. If I don't hear back from you this evening, I'll try you again tomorrow. And then guess what? In the morning, you call them again, and you get their voicemail, and you say, and you do the same thing over and over again. It's just like any business. McDonald's has anywhere you go, you order a cheeseburger, it's going to be the same cheeseburger anywhere you go because they have just the recipe down. So using the video messages again with that phone process, I normally don't have those leads that are just no response after 45 days. I'll usually get a response even if it says I'm not interested or I'm not in the market. So
and that's the trick, is getting them to contact you back.
Right.
So
because then at that point you know that you don't have to put forth any effort. And again, I'll even continue again when I send a video message. Again, it's really important afterwards to just send a very basic email. Hey, Mr. Customer, I sent you a personalized video greeting in my last email. Sometimes it goes into your junk file. Did you receive it okay? What would you like the next steps to be? And it's just very simple at that point.
Right, right. Well, Blake kind of had a follow-up question. He says, well, what do you do when you get an internet lead that is vague? Do you still take a video of a base model or a loaded one, or do you just send a personal message?
Well, I'll just send a personal message, because if it's something that, I get this all the time, if you get an internet lead for a Honda Civic DX, well, if you guys are familiar with the Honda product line, a DX, like nobody buys. It has no air conditioning, has no radio, and that's part of the reason why you want to get in touch with them, is to verify the type of vehicle that they're interested in. So the video message might say, hey, Mr. Customer, it's Elise over at Sunset Honda, San Luis Obispo. I just left you a voicemail, but wanted to send you this personalized video message so that you can put a name with a face so that you know who's going to be working for you. I did receive your request. It was for a Honda Civic. I always like to verify the type of Honda Civic that you're interested in, whether it was a new model or a pre-owned model. The request did come through as a DX model. So I did want to verify that equipment, and I have some really great news for you as well. Please call me back at 805-540-6666. I'll be in the office until 6 p.m. this evening, and here's a few testimonials from some of my customers.
Fabulous. Blake, I hope that helped you out. Okay, next question comes to us. Well, actually, it's more of a comment. Steven wrote back in, if video increases your sales by 100% from 10 cars to 20, and then management does not make it standard operating procedure, then the net gain for the whole store is 10 cars per month. So he's obviously saying, why isn't everyone doing this? I agree. I think everyone should be doing it. Okay. Chelsea wrote in, do you actually quote all of your leads regardless of contact, or do they actually have to respond? With quotes from the websites you mentioned earlier, like TrueCar.com, or do you actually take the time to actually get a dealership quote?
So not every, no, I usually try and avoid sending quotes out through email. It's a very hard thing to do, because at that point, again, you're pretty much just at a battle of price itself. The purpose of the video message ultimately is to get them on the phone, and the purpose of a phone call is to get them into the store. So with quotes, but if let's say I do get that customer on the phone, and I can't get the appointment, or I can't get them to come in the store, especially if they're living all the way up in San Jose, which is like 5 hours away, and they're obviously not going to drive. They really are shopping for a good deal. Then those are the types of customers where I'm going to put together a video like I did and send them a quote, because that's what they want, and it's not just going to be a number, but it's going to be explaining the transparency behind it, so that they can see that, they can kind of see all the pieces of the puzzle like they were here in the store. Because when the customer's here in the store and I'm going over those figures, you know, if they don't think those figures are fair, you're going to do, you know, you're going to use your negotiation tools while they're here in the store to explain, you know, the process on a new car, what invoices and, you know, what every Honda dealer pays, and you go through that process when they're here in the store. But if you can't get them in the store and you can't, you know, you talk to them on the phone and they only want a quote, rather than just sending them a number, I'm still going to send them a video message like that so that they can see, again, the transparency behind everything.
Right, right. I think it's great. And by the way, our friends in Ohio, Chelsea and crew, they said that they're apologizing for the flood of questions. No need to apologize, my friends. Send them on in. That's what this webinar is here for, right? Steve wrote in, why do you call these videos branding videos instead of sales videos? But I think what you're doing is you're branding yourself as a salesperson. Is that why you call it a branding video,
Yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're not branding the car. We're not branding the dealership
Right.
so much. You're branding yourself as a salesperson, as an automotive sales professional, the go-to person for when you want the absolute best service and the best car at the best price. I'm the person
Right.
who wants to take care of you.
Right, exactly.
There you go. Okay, Orlando wrote in, my name is Orlando. Why do you think these videos work so well with people?
Why do they work so well with people?
Why do you think they work so well? I know why they worked on me. I could tell you why, but why do you think they work so well on people?
Because I think as people, again, you know, we all know that that majority of people are using the internet anyways, and again, just they work so well because if you put yourself outside of the box and you put in an internet, you know, you go and actually pretend like you're buying a car somewhere and you see what else is out there, it's really sad, guys. I mean, it's auto template after auto template, and so it works so well because, you know, like that email response that I showed you earlier, it's when they get a video message, that customer sees that you're a real person and it's not just a computer-generated response. And people buy things from people that they like and that they trust, you know.
Absolutely, and it's funny because Steve just wrote in, first rule of auto sales, people buy from people. And, of course, our friend AJ is going to be speaking at the upcoming Digital Dealer Convention, and he's doing a show about, it's all about people, and it's true. I would much rather get a video like you send out than not having a phone call for 2 weeks, which is what happened to me, or a, you know, templated email, which I can tell is templated. So,
Right.
I mean, it just shows you care. If you care enough to
Right.
make a little video for me, you're probably going to care enough to take good care of me when I tell you what kind of car and how much money I have and that I have a trade-in and all that stuff.
Right.
So,
Right.
thank you very much for the question, Orlando. Russ wrote in, man, what a great focused webinar today. Thank you. So, you're very welcome, Russ. Andrew wrote in about your closing ratio again. So we don't know the exact numbers, Andrew, but as she covered before, she doesn't get 100 leads a month, but she's still selling 20 cars a month, and she doesn't even work on the weekends. So rock on, girl. And as Bob put it, rock star. Bob wants to know if you would like to move to New Mexico, because Volkswagens and Mazdas are nice too. You think about that, Elise?
I drive 2 Hondas now, so I have 2.
Okay, Rick wanted you to know, Elise is over the top. I have several of my team tuning in today. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in Vegas. Rick, thank you very much. Okay, next questions come to us from 2 different people on today's show, JR and our friends from Ohio, Chelsea and company. They want to know, do you also text the leads, or other than phone, email, and video, do you spend time responding to leads through other media such as text, chat, Facebook? My goodness, people. Really? Seriously? Phone, email, and video isn't enough? All right, tell me. Elise, what do you do?
With text, if I get them on the phone, and I'm able to set that appointment, usually with, you know, that when I have them on the phone and I'm setting that appointment, I say, okay, great, tomorrow afternoon, let me look at what I have available. I have an opening at 1:15 or 3:45. Which of those works better for you? Okay, great, 3:45. So I'm going to go ahead and put you in my appointment book. And do you know where we're located at? Okay, great. And Mr. Customer, do you receive, is this your cell phone? Do you receive text messages on it? Okay. All right. So I like to get confirmation that they text message before I do send any text. But usually with text, I will use after I've spoken on the phone with them, usually after I've set an appointment with them, and I'll use it just a lot of times as a quick appointment reminder. I don't use it as a main form of communication. It's usually just a quick appointment confirmation or something very, something very simple. But I always do like to confirm that they, that they receive texts on their phone or that they text message.
Right.
Even though I would like to think that majority of us do. I don't want to risk, text messaging someone and then they get charged 30 cents. They're not on the text messaging plan and they get charged for it. So I do use text, but usually only after I've spoken on the phone with them. And I usually use it as like an appointment confirmation of some type. And then as far as Facebook, I have the dealership has a Facebook fan page or a business page that I will direct customers to. Usually after the sale. Some of my good customers I have on my personal Facebook, but a lot of customers more so I kind of direct towards my Twitter or on my LinkedIn as far as, keeping in touch with them and everything like that.
I think that's way above what most salespeople do, believe me. One day, Elise, you and I will sit down, talk about babies, and I'll tell you my horrible car shopping experience. Unbelievable to me. Okay, Mike wanted me to let you know that it was a great show. Chelsea wanted me to ask you another question. How long were you making these videos before you started getting outside attention, such as Jim Ziegler, who, by the way, was here 2 days ago and sang your praises? I'm sure you are well aware. Did you market yourself outside of work, or did you just take off virally? So how did that happen?
It just kind of took off virally. I want to say probably maybe after a month of doing these videos, I got a YouTube comment from James A. Ziegler, and I didn't know who he was at the time, but he put on one of my videos.
Did you tell him you didn't know who he was? I'm sure you got.
I didn't realize, I guess, at that time, because I had only been working at Sunset Honda for a few months. I didn't realize that there was a whole side of this business where there's sales trainers and everything like that. But he basically put in one of my videos, I'm a national sales trainer and I love your stuff, and he's actually the one that gave me the YouTube Diva name. So it just kind of caught on. I don't know how he found the video, but he found one of my videos, commented on it, and then we've been in touch ever since. And like I said, he brought me on board to a lot of his internet battle plan seminars the past couple of years, and I've kind of traveled everywhere, where he's doing his seminars, and taught kind of what I do. So we're really great friends. Him and his wife Debbie are great. So.
That is fantastic. I hope that helped you out, Chelsea. We have another question from Oscar. I'm not even going to attempt your last name, Oscar, but Oscar I like. So he wants to know, what's your lead to appointment rate?
Lead to appointment rate.
We already discussed your closing rate, but how? Right. I mean, how effective is this on just getting the appointment?
That's a good question. Usually I should calculate all this stuff so that I have all the numbers in front of me, but
yeah.
I like to, when using this process, I like to set myself a minimum of two appointments a day. And then, most of the time, though, it's usually 3 appointments a day. And it's not necessarily for that exact day, but throughout the week, so that when I look at my weekly calendar, during the work week, I have 2 or 3 appointments set. And because then you figure, let's say you set 3 appointments, one of those appointments doesn't show, so now you have 2 appointments that are there. And statistically, 50% of those are going to close, but the majority of the time, I'll sell both of those appointments that day. I mean, just looking at it from a numbers game, I have Saturday and Sunday off, and I work Monday through Friday from 9 to 6. And, I've sold anywhere from 20 to, 30 cars. So that's, at least 1 car a day, sometimes 2, sometimes even, 3 car, hat tricks or 4 cars a day. So.
Well, Chelsea and the gang over there in Ohio, they wanted to thank Elise They appreciate you answering all of their questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you, they said. And DJ wrote in, Elise, you're amazing. I got to run, but thank you so much for the webinar. We have one last question from some crazy lady in New Jersey named Eliana, and she wants to know if you will consider, please, in the future, coming back and doing another webinar with us, because I think you are fabulous. And you have certainly earned the moniker the YouTube Diva.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
I would love it. I would love it. So
I will be you know, venturing on a new adventure here in December, because I'm going to have a newborn. But absolutely,
yes, and you know what? Webinars you can do from home. Elise, I have the perfect solution for you.
As long as she's not crying in the background.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll do it when she's napping. Okay, so we're way past the top of the hour, and thank you so much, everyone, for hanging on there. We had a majority of the people still hanging on to hear your responses, and just all around, 5-star, great webinar. Thank you so much, Elise. I cannot wait to have you back on the show again. Really.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to clap for you because I'm the only one you can hear. Okay, I want to remind the audience, yes, a link to download a copy of today's webinar recording is going to be emailed to you much later today, because I have to, you know, do a bunch of stuff to it. It'll be there for your reference. Please share it with friends and colleagues. Today's webinar is also going to be posted online within 24 hours at dealeron.com/webinars, and there you can view our upcoming webinar schedule too and access any of our past webinars. I want to also let you know that how-to video that Elise made for us, specifically how to, you know, make your branding videos, I will send you a link to that as well in that same email. So look out for that email from me, Eliana, later today. Also, at the conclusion of this webinar, you're going to receive a short survey. Please fill it out. We need your feedback. Please tell Elise what an awesome job she did. And we're going to randomly select some people from all the completed surveys to also win some Google swag. DEALERUN is going to be at the upcoming Digital Dealer Convention in Las Vegas. That's right, Elise. I know we've been on this slide for a long time. You can go to the next one. And if you're going to be there, I want to see you. So come visit me at booth 1211. Digital Dealer Conference and Expo is awesome. And it's going to be October 23, 24, 25 at the Mirage. I want to meet you. Please, we're going to be giving away some cool prizes too. And check out the speaking sessions from some members of the DEALERUN executive team. But not to be outdone, we're going to be broadcasting live from the Digital Dealer Convention in Vegas on Thursday, October 25th, with none other than our fearless leader, Ali Amirizvani, President and CEO of DEALERUN. He's going to be telling us all about advanced SEO for dealers and what still works on Google. We all need to know it. You know you need to know it. So if you're not going to be in Vegas, then I hope you'll join us for the webinar. It's going to be fabulous. And invitations are going to be going out tomorrow for our next webinar, which is on the next slide, How to Win Fans and Influence News Feeds, Increasing Your Exposure and Reach on Facebook. Arnold Tiarina will be discussing how Facebook determines who sees what you post, how to dramatically increase the percentage of your fans who see it, and how to extend your message well into their networks. He's also going to share with you easy and free tools you can use to leverage not only your exposure to your Facebook fans on the site, but also to people accessing Facebook through their mobile devices. And who knows? Maybe you'll even steal some customers from your competitors. One thing's for sure, if you want to dominate on Facebook, then this is a webinar you can't afford to miss. And this will be another fabulous presentation by your friends at DEALERUN. Don't forget, DEALERUN's weekly webinars are held every Thursday, 12 noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. By the way, I want to let you know, if you are interested in that webinar next week, definitely show up. Three Birds Marketing is giving away a prize valued at over $4,000 to one lucky attendee. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. We're going to tell you all about it in the invitation. And we have some great webinar subjects planned for this year. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please track me down. My name is Eliana. I love hearing from you. I'm on all the automotive social networks, or you can email me directly at eliana@dealerun.com. Thank you all so very much for spending this time with us today, and we hope to see you all on a future webinar in our continuing education series. Have yourselves a good one.